Some Christian women are being praised for being low maintenance, but in reality, they just stopped expecting care. They stopped asking, stopped expressing needs, stopped expecting any type of consistency, stopped believing somebody would actually show up for them emotionally. So after a while, survival mode started looking like strength. Now, for those who may be new here, I'm Dr. Antoinette Brookins. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, first lady, and I'm the founder of the Holy Ghost Homegrows. And here we have honest conversations about emotional maturity, healing, faith, and becoming a whole as a Christian woman. So we talk about all things Jesus over here and how to manage our mental health using faith-based practices. I think that this conversation is something that a lot of women need to have. So before I get started, though, I want to say this because some people love taking things out of context online. This is not about blaming men. We don't do no man bashing over here. This is not about hating men. Um, I am in love with a godly man who I love being accountable to and being submissive to. Right. So I believe in healthy relationships, healthy communication, and the beauty of just being covered by a God fearing husband who truly loves me as his wife. Right. But what I also know as a therapist and as a woman, and as somebody who has counseled many women over the years, that some women have learned how to survive emotionally instead of actually being emotionally healthy. Some women are called easygoing because they no longer expect anything. They don't ask for reassurance. They don't ask for affection. They don't ask for any help. They don't ask for emotional safety. And it's not because they're healed. That's not the reason they stopped asking. Okay. What actually happened is that disappointment has trained them to stop expecting care. They figured that people weren't going to show up anyway. So they stopped expecting it. They didn't want to get hurt again. Sometimes people praise women for being independent, but independence and emotional deprivation are not always the same thing. And it's time that we stop confusing these things, which is why you're going to be seeing a whole lot of me. The Lord has gifted me to go through extensive training to be able to speak into the lives of his women, both spiritually and through academia. And it's my great pleasure to help women to navigate through some of the toughest, most difficult times in their life, right? Not with just my own opinion, right? But through faith based interventions, through evidence based practices, right? And by the inspiration of the Holy Ghost, because those are the things that we need in order to be able to help people to navigate through things, right? So, some women have learned very early that their needs would inconvenience people. Right. And so if you are joining me on the replay and this resonates with you, don't be afraid to be in the chat. I want to hear from you. But again, some women have learned very early that their needs would inconvenience people. So what do? They became emotionally quiet, emotionally self contained, emotionally low maintenance. And while people are praising this, it's like, man, it's like she low maintenance. She don't really need anything. It's like, she got it. She can handle things on her own. But inside, we be dying, right? And this is what survival mode does. Survival mode kicks in and say, we gonna get this done. It doesn't matter if I'm sleep deprived. It doesn't matter that I have 1,000 things on my to-do list. It doesn't matter that so many people are looking out for me, reaching out to me for different things. It's like, we gonna get this done. We start telling ourselves, if I don't know nothing else, I know how to survive. I know how to stretch a thing. I know how to make things happen. Says that's survival mode. And what happens when we start living in survival mode is it taxes the rest of us emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Ailments start showing up in our body, and we're trying to figure out, like, what's going on? It's because survival mode has kicked in. And when survival mode kicks in, our coping skills, our strategies that we need to make sure that we're okay, take a back seat. Survival mode says, don't ask for too much. Girl, you bet not need too much. And you definitely bet not cry too much. Don't let them see you cry. Don't let them see you shake. Don't let them see it. Like you got to hide all that. Right? You better go out there and you better show up and you better have it all together. Lip liner on point, weave on point, whatever. It's like, listen, it's like, I got it. It's like, I got on my power suit and we ready. We ready. You don't need nobody. All you need is Jesus and Jesus alone. And we definitely need Jesus. But he also didn't create us to live in a silo. So after a while, the mindset becomes normalized. And so we have mastered the facade of looking extremely strong externally while being emotionally starved inside. And you know what also happens in church culture sometimes? Women become celebrated for suffering silently. And I'm not saying that the church has done this to us, God forbid, right? The church is a beautiful place for us to learn and to grow and to be discipled. The church is a safe place. But what happens is over time, when we're not focusing on the things that the Lord is trying to download into us, we just start doing all of the things, right? And so we keep serving, we keep functioning, we keep showing up without dealing with things that may have caused us trauma in the past. So we forsake a lot of things that we've needed because we have a job to do. And somewhere along the lines, we got it in our minds that this is what we're here for. Only to serve, never to be poured into. But the fact of the matter is we need to be a cup and a pitcher, right? And so as we pour out our pitcher, right? Now we have a cup and somebody is pouring into us, refreshing us. But no, we get caught in a trap. As long as she keeps serving, as long as she keeps functioning, as long as she keeps showing up, nobody notices that they're emotionally depleted. They don't notice that. But healing is learning that your needs matter too. And guess what? It matters to God. He told us to cast all of our cares on him because he cares for us. He talks about joy. He talks about peace. He talks about provision. So girl, that is our portion. Healing is realizing that asking for care is not weakness. Healing is understanding that God did not create you to survive emotionally disconnected from everybody around you. So healing requires safe vulnerability. Yeah. We have to have the ability to be vulnerable in front of somebody. Somebody has to be able to see us break a little bit. Somebody has to be able to see our lips shake a little bit. Somebody has to be able to see that part of us when that bead of sweat is rolling down our back or between our breasts. They have to be able to see that like this person is human and they need something and they need connection. They need a break. They need to rest. Girl, you need sleep. We need somebody to celebrate us too, because that is the human part of us. Healing requires healthy communication. To be able to talk to somebody and they understand our point of view. That what I'm saying to you in confidence matters, and that you can hold space for me. Healing requires learning how to receive care without guilt, saying that I need help, I need you, and not feeling guilty about it. And I think a lot of women watching this are realizing that I'm not low maintenance. I'm tired. Since I'm guarded. And quite frankly, I'm disappointed because I have helped and served and I've given and no one showed up for me. There was no reciprocity. And that's whack. We're saying that I have learned how to survive. And if that's you, I want you to know something. God did not call you to merely survive emotionally. He wants you to be whole. He wants peace to flow like a river, for joy to show up in your life. And so joy is reflected in everything that you do. Not just functioning, not just punching in and punching out, not just serving, but being loved where you serve, being celebrated where you serve. And no, we're not just doing things for the applause. That's not the point. But shouldn't we be applauded sometimes? Shouldn't somebody recognize it? Not just enduring. Because the truth of the matter is, if we never get these things and we never say that this is something that we want and something that we desire, we'll end up being resentful. And so we'll be bouncing around from church to church, ministry to ministry, looking for something that we never stated. But we all secretly wished that somebody knew, that somebody saw. Whole. Whole. So what I want you to think about is this. Have you ever mistaken survival mode for strength? If so, put it in the chat. Think about it. Reflect on it. Have you ever called yourself independent when deep down you were really just disappointed? Have you ever stopped asking because asking felt unsafe? Let's talk about it respectfully in the comments. And if this blessed you, share with another woman who may need language for what she's been carrying. Because it's time that we treat ourselves better.